What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. Ryan always makes a funny little joke before we go on. That way he gets everybody laughing.
I don't. That's not me that does that. All right, dude. We had some tournaments wrap up this weekend last week.
Some
However,
good ones. Yeah.
yeah. So we had European Indoor Championships,
Yep.
USA Indoor. I guess it'd be qualification rounds, right?
Yep.
And then
And they're
ASA
doing the final 8 in Vegas, right?
yes, and then we
Okay,
had
cool.
ASA Foley was the same weekend.
Yep.
This last
Yep.
weekend here.
So you want to? We'll just start by the European ones.
Yeah.
I'm
So
going to absolutely murder this.
it's going to be
it's okay.
great. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Are you ready? You want to go women's first?
Yep.
Mantilia, Giulia.
Well, yes, that'd be last name first.
Yes, I was just joking. It doesn't
Won
show
it.
the score. Yeah, she got number 1, but it doesn't show me the score on here.
Yeah, I wonder if they did. Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, anyway, in second was Christina Procoli.
Yep.
I'm assuming she shot well since we don't know the score.
Yeah, I think so.
Then Cincia, number
Yep.
3. Ooh, number 4, Maria Mogos.
Yep, from Romania.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Then we got number 5, Elena Toplesinu.
Romania.
Romania. And then Christina Basin. Would you agree?
Sure.
Romania.
Yep.
Ramesia Usal. Dude, I feel like an idiot saying this. I feel like I just learned how to sound out words. All right. So anyway, that was the women. They
Yep.
done a good job. And I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Ready for the men?
Yes.
From Romania, Ciprian Bacan.
Yep. Which he won Kings of Archery, I think.
Did he? For some reason, I was thinking Oliver won that.
Oliver won it last year.
Okay.
I think he did this year.
Okay. Well, he shot really well because he had some good competition there. So, and then
Yeah, he did well.
Simone Barberi,
Yep.
Italy. That guy's always shooting good.
Yeah, he's a hammer.
Yeah. Then we got David Jackson. Everybody
Yep.
probably know who that guy is.
Yep.
Jerome Sochouad.
France.
Then we got Kirill Igoshin.
Yep.
Would you say that's right?
Sure.
From Croatia. Then Romania, number 7. Alexandru Gotelis. I kind of like these names. Then we got Richard Perez from where? Slovenia?
Slovakia.
Oh, okay. Slovakia.
Yep.
That's it.
That's
I guess we'll be
top
back
8.
next week. No.
Top 8 and 8 for European
Men and
Indoor.
women.
Yep. And then we wrapped up our qualification rounds for USA Archery and our top 8 men. No surprise, number 1, Zach.
Old Zach.
At 11:35, which that is the highest that it's been since I've shot barebow.
I think it said pending like a record.
National, I think a double round. So
yeah,
that's
friggin' smoking. I know that.
Yeah, so that is that's just banger rounds. I think he had an 87 in there, 81. 82 and an 85. I think that's what that was.
Yeah, dude, he's killing it right now.
Yeah,
from Iowa.
Yeah.
And we got Mr. Brian Way. He always shows up.
Yep, there's no surprise there. And then Cheyenne McBride, which
he's from
shot
Texas.
Yeah, we shot with him. Was that last year?
Indoor Nationals?
Yep.
NFA, yes.
last year, the year before. I don't remember which year that was. And then
I don't know him real
Nick.
well, but I think he's from. Yeah, I think he's a couple hours down south from me.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good shooter.
He's a good shot. Yep. Then we got
And then-
Mr. Nicholas
Yep.
Way. He always shoots well too.
1088. Him and Marcus Cooley tied.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
Yep. Nick got him on tens by 3 10s.
Well, that was tight.
Yeah. And then Ogilvy, which Ogilvy's,
Jeffrey. He's
Yep.
always a hammer. He's always one to
Yep.
look out for.
I think he's been there a few times now.
Yeah.
And then Luke's on a run. Kid shooting good. Good for him.
Hey, is Luke the guy that beat you out?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I
Yep.
haven't met him.
Yep. He's getting
It seems
things
like he's been
figured
shooting
out.
really well.
Yeah, he's getting things figured out, man. He's gonna be he's not gonna be. He's one of the guys, man. He's doing great.
Yeah, him and
Then
Kyle. Man,
Yeah.
Kyle Coffey, he changed his form. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I noticed. So he used to have his like elbow.
Like a high elbow?
No, he used to have it way down. Way
Okay.
down. And his form has totally changed to where he's kind of got his elbow up now.
Okay.
I don't know what's better, one or the other, but all I
Yep.
know is he always shows up and shoots well. So,
Yeah.
Of course, we've had him on and kind of went over some of that stuff in the past.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And then he also
he's always a good shot.
he did something with a collegiate or something. I think he won that this year as well.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Wait,
Yep.
did he?
I think
I
so.
thought he graduated last year. Well, anyway, we don't know.
Anyways,
We'll
yeah.
have to ask him.
Yep. And then on the women's, Medina, 1081.
Killed
Yeah,
it.
1081. So 1081 would have put her in 7th in the men's.
That's crazy, dude. She's freaking killing it.
Yeah. And then Maggie
yeah.
would have been 9th in the men's. That is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Ava.
Ava always shoots well.
Yep. Diane. Johanna. Elizabeth Howe. Julie Jones. And Chrissy Lyons, number 8. Which is cool because she hasn't
Is
been
she over
shooting
there
much.
by you?
Chicago area.
Oh, okay. All right. So not
Yep.
too awful far anyway.
Yep. Yeah.
I know y'all
Her
are
and
pretty
her and
close.
Luke are. I want to say she helps Luke. Some like coach maybe helps.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So I think they're all right there. And then
Did Fawn go to that?
I don't think so. I looked. I didn't see her anywhere.
Okay. Well, maybe
I think she didn't want to go to Vegas. Maybe so.
Okay, that's
maybe
probably
she's
what
just
I was
yeah.
thinking.
Yep.
She goes out of country a lot, so I don't blame her. That's a
Yeah.
giant expense.
Yeah, and then World Games I don't think is going to be 100% funded. So there's a flight to China that we're going to have to deal with. So
Hey,
Yep.
start a GoFundMe.
no thanks.
Do
I'll just figure it out.
No, we'll raise some money for you. We'll sell stickers for 27 cents a sticker. So you'll end up with like $3 by the time this is over with.
A couple gallons of gas to get me to the airport.
Yeah. At least
And
to buy
then-
you a soda.
Yeah. No, it's all good. And then we also had ASA Foley. So the weather
Yep.
was cool down there. It looked like.
Yeah, everybody was bundled up, it looked like.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they had weather or not. I guess I could have asked that. So
I don't think so. I think it was just cooler than
It was
normal.
cooler. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dwayne Morgan won it at a 353 and 312s.
Have you met him?
I have not.
I haven't either. I haven't heard of him.
Yep, I think we follow each other on the gram, but
The
I
gram?
don't. Yeah, I don't think I've met him. And then we have a Johnny Avent, second place at a 346 and 312s, and then Ava, 346, 212s. Okay, so second, third, 12 count, and then Ava had, I think, some equipment issues second round. Right,
I remember you mentioning that to me. Yeah.
An hour before, so she had to use a demo bow from the Elite booth and just quickly figure something out and go shoot around. So she did pretty well with that.
Super
Definitely.
cool that they had a bow there even for.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. Obviously wasn't ideal, but she ended up I don't know the difference in courses. 175 first round, 171 second round. The score difference was big, but the courses could have been
Oh, sure.
completely different. So we
Yep.
don't know that. And then Mike Ellis fourth, Cooper Collins fifth, Steve Getty sixth, Bill Hunter seventh, and then old Calvin Smock eighth. So that's cool. They had like 26, 27 people.
No, I think it was 23.
No, they had more than that.
Oh, that's a big showing. But Foley always gets a lot of good showing because of typically the weather down there is super nice.
It's warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was.
Or maybe it's on the rise.
Yeah, maybe. So that was the tournaments to date now. So next is Vegas in a week and a half. All the USA folks are going to shoot off for top finishes, whatever, and then
the big man.
And then you guys will roll into Vegas, and that'll pretty much wrap up the indoor season, I'd say, for most folks.
Yep. Pretty much did be done with it over that. I may or may not even be able to shoot Vegas.
Yeah, you got your fancy neck massager on there because you like to trip and fall. You fell a year ago at this time too, right before.
Yeah,
I think Louisville.
That's what I do for a cop out, so I don't have to perform.
Yeah. Oh, I was sore the whole time. That's why
I couldn't shoot because I'm sore. No, but anyway, you may tell you what happened.
Yeah.
You already know, but I'll let everybody else know. So I was carrying a 20-pound bottle of propane in my shop. It was icy outside. I'm not used to that because I live in the South, apparently.
Yes.
And carried it in there, slipped, and with the weight of the propane tank, my legs and my butt came above my head, and I like scorpioned myself on the concrete pad. My wife came running out there with her shoes on backwards, trying to figure out if I died or not. So I laid there for like a solid 5 minutes, and oh man, my neck is just jacked.
Oh well.
So it's getting better though. It seems like it's getting better. I've just taken like 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen a day. So by the time this is over with, I won't have a liver. So anyway.
Oh well.
But my bow was shooting good before, so if I'm able to shoot, it shouldn't be bad.
Yeah. It should be. It'd be cool. Everybody can check out the new venues, see how that's rolling.
For you next year.
Yeah, maybe. Yep, maybe. And then, man, I'm having issues with seeing indoor anymore. I know that. My local range is pretty good, but where I shot USA this weekend as well, and the Mason, Michigan venue is just terrible lighting.
Yeah, but I've heard that from a lot of people, though.
Yeah, well,
the lighting sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see your arrows completely washed out. You like maybe a little glimmer of a glare, and it's like, it's terrible. And then I fight that my eyes kind of blurring that in and out, which I think I've got it kind of figured. I know what's causing it. I don't know how. I haven't figured it out, but I know what's causing it, and I don't know the workaround yet. But I don't know. Indoors, not. We'll see. But the practice range at Lancaster, where we always go to practice, and the lighting's really bad there. You're like, man, I just can't really see. It's worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, man, I hate that place, but it's the venue, so it is what it is. But it went okay for me.
So how did that go for you? Let's start with the first, when you showed up over there and shot Saturday, right?
Yeah, so all week I was, practicing, and I kind of decided it was like, you know what? I shot Lancaster triggerless. I'm going to shoot USA with a triggered shot, and I can compare, and I wanted to get like a mental approach and a body feel for the two things.
Which means you have to tune your bow differently.
Yes.
For the way you run your sear.
Yeah, because my hands and my grip different.
Right.
And then there's this whatever going on. So it's a different tune, and I kind of fought that all week, and I don't know if I run the sear off my Yoast weight. I got it turned up so my finger can reach it and I can run it off the weight. And the grip angle and the location to the weight is different than the GMX.
Right.
And I run it really well off the GMX. Well, I'm shooting that GT right now, and it's just not the same. And I think then coupled with 6-7 weeks of pretty much not shooting triggered shots much and doing the drills and everything else. Man, talk about some trigger panic. I'm jumpy, way jumpy on it. And I kind of was all week, getting better as the week went, but it was definitely something I noticed. So I ended up just kind of tuning in for the triggered shot, and I knew what I needed to do for center shot to go to triggered. Because if I left my tune for a triggered shot and then I just shot it without a sear, okay, I would hit like right 7/8. So I would have to put a full turn on center shot in, or out, push out, and I'd go back down the line. The knock height needed to be different as well, but I can't just change that real easy because then the crawl's different and everything. So
Right.
I could, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to shoot that. I'm going to shoot for sure Saturday, a triggered shot. And so anyways, I couldn't get it really rolling good off the weight. And I was like, well, front off the front of the riser. And man, I had something maybe I thought was going to kind of work. I kind of run out of time a little bit late Friday night. And I was just didn't have high confidence in it. I was like, well, let's see what practice rounds do. So I rolled into the practice rounds and they weren't very good. I was, couldn't see. And my eyes were blurring out real bad, which makes that even worse because you end up having to like really focus on your aim, bring the aim back in so you can, out of blur,
Right.
which means you stop running like, the process of the triggered shot, and then you got to go back into it. It's just like a vicious cycle, which is no good. So I was shooting those practices that way, and I was like, this isn't going good at all. Rolled in the first scoring arrow, dude. I was like working it, and I felt my nail moved, and I just kind of clutched out of it. Threw a miss. First scored arrow, clean miss, right off the bat. I was like, oh no. Which I didn't really jazz me up or nothing. I was just like, yeah, it is whatever. So then I, shot a couple nines, I think. Yeah, I shot an 18, and then the second end was.
Sorry. Hold on. What? You just skipped. You shot an 18 because. Oh. Sorry. Phone call. Call right back. You shot an 18 with a miss.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to make fun of you for a second, but I'm not going to now.
Oh. You can.
Yeah.
I shot that 18 and I was like, all right. So the next end I want to say I tried to shoot it with my left eye closed to try to help that blur, the target blurring out on me, which I fought this back in field too. And so I shot it with my eye closed and it was not better. I scored better. I shot like a 26, I think, but it wasn't good. It wasn't a good 26. It was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. It was super jumpy. I mean, I'm just super long holds. And then the third end, I want to say I shot the third end, an arrow or two without a trigger. Just was like, well, let me see what this is. And I shot way right. And then I think I shot another 26. And then at the fourth end, anyways, I shot like a 24. I was like, F this. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do this all day. This is, I'm not enjoying this. So I pushed the center shot out a full turn. My crawl was different. I was like, I think it's going to be here. Let's roll with it. And then I just rolled in the rest of the round and actually shot decent. I shot like a 255.
Which, 2 misses?
No, just one miss. Yeah, but miss. I had some bad ends in there. And then the second round I was like a 270. And I was happy with that. I was like, oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. So I ended up doing better than I did at Lancaster. Yeah, I had like a 26 at Lancaster, but that was with 11s. Yeah. And no miss. So I was like, you know what? I'm a little bit better. Okay, so cool.
So your first round was triggered. Second round, non-triggered.
No, first 4 ends were triggered.
Oh, and then the rest of that round was non-triggered.
Yeah, I pushed my center shot and turned out.
I remember you telling me.
And when I guessed on the crawl, I got it pretty good because I shot a pretty decent end right like a 28, I think, right over 20. I think it was. Anyways, I guessed pretty good, and I was like, oh, okay, this is working. The issue was like my knock height wasn't good, so I could see my arrow almost like having a kick in it, like vertically, just kind of kicking in. And I was like, shit. But if I knew what I needed to do, I would have moved it,
Right.
but I was like, man, I don't know how I go. And then I don't know the crawl for it. So yeah, I know it needed to raise, but I don't know, like if I raise it an 1/8 inch or something, I don't know my crawl. And I was like, man, I don't want to just be like suddenly pounding like 6s and 7s low. And I was like, this thing's kind of hitting the middle. Let's just let it go. So I ran with it. And if I made a good shot, it went yellow. It wasn't a good, like I said, I could see the kick. But yeah, whatever. It was centered and I was happy with it. So then I did that 270 and I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, super happy with that. And then I was hoping to find like a local place. I was like, is there anywhere to shoot around here? I'd like to go at least get my tune back. At least get the knock, because I could see the kick, and it was just like, oh, this is not good. And I couldn't. So I was like, you know what? Tomorrow's going to be my last indoor round of the season, so I don't really care that much. So I didn't even mess with it. I just went back the next day and was like, I'm just going to try to run good shots. And I shot I started pretty good on the third game, which would be the next day's first round. Man, I started pretty good. Was hitting good, and I had I was getting it down there, and I had a little mantra I was saying to try to just kind of force me to hold for a minute or a second or two, And I stayed in it pretty decent, and then towards the end, I just started losing it, and I noticed if I just kind of draw back and just kind of just deliberately put the aim right on, and then really try to force like into a hold, I'm jumpy, but they're better.
Right.
Yeah, I just have to fight that. And I'm definitely jumpy. Like you can probably watch me, yipping and stuff. Versus if I kind of lost it and then I'd come in high and then I'd have to like work it down. And those were no good there because, like the subconscious is really wanting to take over to send them and I'm not quite getting them there. And then I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm getting rewarded with some bad holds on just, subconscious, I think, holding them down there and sending them. So I kind of fell off for like a 63 there at the end. And then, the last round, I was just like, you know what, just stop. Let's just hold it on there. It didn't even matter. I want to hold. And I really try to force myself. And the same thing, I started that round pretty decent. And then I got loose here and there, but whatever. I think I shot like a 71 on that round, which I was super happy with.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a good round.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. And, I was actually at the end of it, I was like, oh, man, I wish I had like another couple rounds to shoot and just keep working through this.
Yeah.
So I ended up with like a 1059, which I think I'm 14th overall of the combined, all the men's side, the male side. So,
well, it's not bad for, what you dealt with as far as running a triggered shot and kind of at a guess. So,
yeah, I've never shot them good. This is one of the year in 21 we did a quarantine edition, which you went and shot a state shoot, and then that went towards your indoor nationals. And that year I shot a 542, and I ended up getting the bronze that year. And that was the year that Demmer got the record, the world record, 71. And then that's when Brian Way come on the scene, and he was like a 58, I think. And then I got the 42. I shot that year good-ish. I shot a really good first round. My second round, I had 2 misses from broken arrow knocks that I wasn't keeping tabs on. Anyways, and but all the other years since 20 and then 22, 23, 24, and now, this is one of my better ones. So I've always shot them, well, except for that for quarantine edition. Anyways, I've always shot them up in Mason, which I don't know, man, maybe next year if I'm, willing to go to I think I'm going to just start going to a different venue because I really do not like the lighting up at that one. I'll go down to Kentucky I think they got one in Illinois now or something where Alex and Luke are shooting. I'll just drive over to that one or something like that. I'll figure it out. But
anyways, you talked into going to Vegas anyway.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's worth going to.
Yeah, I'd like to do that to see what's on
to China next year. So
yeah, we'll see what's on the plate from that next go around. So yeah, that wraps up my indoor season. So I'm done indoor shooting. I'm gonna keep grinding at it, and I got some new stuff. I'll just keep playing with for
getting ready for field.
Yeah, field nationals.
So when's the weather up there by you? Kind of get to where you can start to go outside and
I could
Actually,
probably go outside a couple times this week. Today was pretty was like 50, 49 or 50, and then we're Wednesday's going to be all week's going to be kind of decent. I don't
yeah,
know. I'm going
down
to
here too. We're going to be in the mid 70s most of the week.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I need to get out and I need to what I'd like to do is I need to get to 30 meters and just get a rough bear shaft tune quickly. That way I know knock height and I can kind of go from there. And then if the weather turns shit again, I can go back indoors and work out a decent line based off that. And then I can, work through bunnies out to 20, 25 meters.
Yeah.
And then I'll
Hey,
just have to shoot the line for the far stuff. But
did you happen to listen to Zernzak's podcast with Alex?
yep, I listened to that this morning.
So I would like to twofer on the yelling barebow thing.
Yeah, I don't like
Secretly,
that
it always embarrassed me when people would do it.
yeah, I don't like
I mean,
it.
really, I was like super weird. But
Yeah,
and Matt brought up a good point, which I never even thought of. Like, there are compounders out there that's their paycheck.
yeah,
Never even thought about that, honestly. I mean, I
yeah,
didn't ever participate
yeah. They're
just because that's not me.
actively trying to earn a living, and then you got folks on the other side just hollering shit.
But yeah,
It's like, would you idiot shut up? Trying to make ends meet over here.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I don't like the thing. I mean, I like how it's fun. I like barebow fun, but I like it serious too.
Well, and like Matt said, I don't know if this would ever actually be a thing or not, but if it ever got to be a thing to where people could make a substantial amount of money, in
Yeah.
barebow, which it has jumped up a lot. I'm guessing in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, hugely. You could go to Vegas, win $5,000 or whatever it is, and then you go to Lancaster, win 8 or 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make 15 or 20 grand a year, maybe doing that, and
Yeah.
only,
Yeah.
So I mean, it only cost you 17 or 21, to do all that.
It only costs you a little bit more to do it, but
Well, but I mean, it would be cool for that to happen. You know what I mean? It
yeah.
definitely puts the, Zach right now is up in the ante on everything. Really, I mean, it makes me want to go shoot more, and just get better. Because to be 100% honest with you, like after I won Lancaster, I kind of just willy nilly around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Truthfully, like I not that I was like, I've made it or I've, this or that or whatever, but I just kind of, that was the goal. I mean, really, which it kind of sucked, to be honest with you, that it happened that way my first time going. You know what I mean? To be honest, because it wasn't like a big drawn out thing. Like, I feel like it would be so much sweeter if it had been like 5 years in the making or something for me.
You won and missed it a couple
Yeah,
times,
I mean,
and then you finally got in, and then
but it sucks to get back to where you think, or it sucks to go back where you was, kind of. Like, I can't even make the stage now. You know what I mean? Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
Piece of crap.
Yeah. That damn guy.
Well, I was listening to their podcast, and he was like, "Oh man, I don't even feel like I deserved it." And I was like, you could have just let me have it then. I wouldn't mind. Wouldn't bother me.
Yeah,
Wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I was like, I heard that too, and I'm like, no, dude, that's the game. You deserve it. Go get
For sure.
some.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You beat the guy next to you, and that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Winning's winning.
So close, though. I mean, on a stupid X count.
Yeah, well, you just got to shoot, in the middle more. That's all there is.
Which, dude, I shot not great through all my eliminations, so I'm not even. Oh, my first elimination match, I think I shot like a 12 or 13. I don't remember, but that was my best one.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything great by any means. I looked over on that end too, and I seen Zach would post up like a 120, and I was like, God, this is going to be embarrassing.
Yeah. So this can happen. A guy can do this. Yeah, and it's no, what Zach's doing right now is awesome. It's fun to watch. It's a 300 can be done at Lancaster. He just almost done it.
100%.
That's going to be a big milestone now. And then just
I
what
don't
he's
know
doing.
if that's ever been the goal for anybody. because I've never even considered it, right? But now Zach has shot a 299, right?
Yeah.
Lancaster.
Yeah.
So now it's like that's kind of the goal. I mean, really, I've never done that in
Yeah.
not
Well, if
even
you
I've
think
not even
about
done
it,
it in practice.
yeah, well, if you think like in practice, right? If you right, if you're shooting upper 280, I mean your X counts high, right? So you shoot a 287 13X. You're like,
Yeah,
okay,
13x is a lot of X counts for me, and it was with the fat arrows. Now,
right.
I definitely think there is, like shooting it the way Zach's shooting right now. He absolutely should be shooting a 3 spot. I, however, personally am not comfortable with the 3 spot, but I'm gonna play with it. But shooting those Sonics that I'm shooting right now that are pounding, or they were last week,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of interested to see what my X counts do because I have got a lot of glance outs. You know what I mean? Not a crazy amount, but my second round at Lancaster was a 289 with with fat shafts and
Yeah.
whatever. So that was a good round for me. I was happy, super happy. I mean, but I
Right.
think I had a high X count, like higher than normal for me. I think I had like a 10 or
Right.
9 or something. You know what I mean? I think I would have shot like a 280 without X's or something similar.
Yeah. I'm
But
finding this year, which I've been kind of all over the place on the scores or whatever, just in my practice stuff. It's especially before I went down this triggerless little path here I've been dabbling with the last almost 2 months. But I was shooting a lot of practice rounds leading up to it, and my X count in general is higher now than it's ever been. Shooting my ACEs, and I think it comes down to like a tune thing, and then maybe an aim thing. You can aim them more precise, but man, which maybe goes into the triggered shooting, and then you can really start to kind of go in the weeds on that, and I think it's a little bit different for everybody, but I don't know. It's a weird thing. The fat shaft versus medium versus skinny. I mean, you'd have an argument on for each one,
oh
right?
yeah,
Because
and
you
I've
can't,
heard it 100 times and been on each side of it.
yeah, because you can't argue because Zach just shot a world record where he's shooting 3 spot fat shafts. Okay, Ollie's was 1 point lower with ACEs.
Oh, I
Demers
didn't
was
know that.
yeah, yep. Demers was 1 point lower than that with maybe RZs,
I don't know. We should ask him.
which is a mid diameter. So it gets to be kind of an interesting thing. And I'm sure Zach's messed with this, but like when Zach shoots on a single spot, what happens? Maybe he just completely destroys arrows, and he has terrible glance outs.
Well, I think he does. I've asked him, I think, before, and I think he's
Oh,
like,
okay,
I just
okay,
can't afford to,
okay,
or
okay, yeah,
which I'm
yeah,
sure he's getting arrows, but I imagine he's probably just pounding them. Would be
right,
my
right.
guess.
Or well, I would guess because I'm sure he's tested this, right? So this isn't me anything. I'm sure he's tested this, but I'd be curious to know, like, if you were willing to just like, I don't care how many arrows I destroy, but I want to see and start shooting on a single spot because maybe mentally it's easier and more calming to shoot at a single spot where if you'd have a glance out, right? And what's the glance outs look like? Are they glance out to just nines and you're still catching nines? But if you get more tens, then maybe that one or two nines don't matter. It's an
Yeah,
interesting thing. But man, you'd have to be willing to destroy shafts, and I can't see like I wouldn't do it if I didn't have a pile of them.
sure.
Right, like I want to do it, so I get it. It'd be cool, and like I said, I'm sure he's played with it, But obviously, he's not having an issue aiming on 3 spot. He's
No.
doing it. He's
Well,
doing
and I
it.
think he's
So
pretty familiar with it too because got a cramp. Uh, I think he's pretty familiar with the 3 spot too because he shot compound. You know what I mean? So
true,
probably
true,
a lot
true.
of help there for him.
Yep.
Which is a good thing. I mean, I've been fiddling around with my compound a bit. I'm terrible with it, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. That
I'm
different. Somebody that's shot a single spot forever, and then go to a 3 spot maybe seems more daunting than it really is just
yeah,
because of that. And a guy that shot compound all those years or whatever, and then he's like, oh, that's just always kind of shot 3 spots is what it is. It's just, and he's not worried about shooting, those misses. Obviously he's
shooting for the center.
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
Nope. That's it.
I kind of wanted to touch on this too. Like a lot of people I know are sitting out there and they're like, oh man, I mean, like I want to be where I want to shoot what he's shooting right now. Well, I guarantee you he is putting in a ridiculous amount of time shooting that bow. I mean, a ridiculous amount of time. Like, because to be honest, like I had a fella message me the other day and was asking, just asking me just questions, or whatever. And I was kind of having fun going back and forth and talking whatever with him. Well, he was like, how many arrows do you shoot a day? And personally, I shoot maybe twice a week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I should be shooting more. I can't right now, and I want to badly. But prior to Lancaster, I shot 2 or 3, 4 maybe times a week. You know what I mean? So I amped up my arrow count there. And I really need to put more time in to doing that, because now I'm like watching his scores. I'm like, man, am I capable of any more? Because I may not be. I may be just a guy that shoots an 80 and typically, or you know what I mean? Which I'm happy with that, honestly. But I may be that guy that just can't get past that. But I don't feel that way. I feel like I could shoot better. Like I think we all probably do.
Yeah, I think so too.
But if you're honest with yourself, you really need to put in the actual work it takes to do that. Like you can't go shoot once or twice a week and show up to Lancaster or Vegas or whatever, or even a local tournament and expect to just pound. After you've got that, like,
over.
Your form ingrained and like you're all good about shooting and everything, like you got your form dialed and all that stuff, then you can get back into it real quick and maybe, you can probably get by with doing that. But until then, like, you really need to
figure it out. You got to develop. You got to develop the skill set. You're gonna
for sure.
Yeah, like just all those guys that are good, and then they can take a summer off or a winter off or a year off, and they kind of get back into it and get good again. It's like, well, those guys have at one point put in a absolute shit ton of arrows.
Yeah, for sure.
To develop that form, whatever it is. And then, yes, they got to find it back, and then strength, right? That's a big one. You got to build your strength back up, and then it's boom, there it is. But like the difference from like a 70 to an 80, and then like an 80 to an 84 to an 87. I mean, it's the smallest little things that's keeping you right. So if your grip isn't that, you're not going to be an 85, right? That thing's got to be the same every time, and it's not going to be the same every time if you shoot once a week. If you're learning barebow and you're shooting once or twice a week for an hour, it's going to take years to develop that.
Yeah. But on the other hand, if you're shooting once or twice a week, your expectation shouldn't be going to Lancaster and winning it. You know what I mean? So and if you're okay with that, so be it.
Yeah. If that's all you got, then it is what it is. But don't say you're, well, I shoot once or twice a week. I just don't know why I can't get to a 75 or an 80. It's like, well, it's like there's a lot of things working against you right now. You got to build a repetitive form. You got to build the mental mindset. And that's a big, indoor is, the single thing on indoor is you got to hold on the middle.
Most important.
You got to, this is indoor. You got to hold on the middle without your mind freaking out and run a consistent shot. Even if that arrow goes and hits, it doesn't matter. Right?
Yep.
So you that's indoor. You got to be able to do that. And some people have the ability just to do that. And then you put a guy that can do that also can tune his bow to be super forgiving, that also has a form developed that is super consistent.
That's willing to put in the work.
Yep. And it's the same every time. That guy is Zach, right?
that guy Zach right now.
right?
Absolutely.
That's Zach. That's Grayson. That's Demmer. That's Eric Johnson. These are guys that have put the work in and they developed it. And and I think that's it. And then the people. There's a lot of folks that go shoot or I shoot 3-4 days a week, and they just go to the club, hang a target face, and fling arrows down there.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, what are you working on? Well, I mean, I shot a 270 today. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but what'd you work on? Well, what do you mean? It's like, on whatever your worst day is, that's going to be your day at your tournament. So on your bad day, are you shooting a 240? Well, there you go. That's what you're going to shoot at Lancaster if you're lucky, because you're not practicing, you're not training anything in other than flinging arrows down there. Yeah, you're good at flinging arrows at a paper target. You got to, train that hold, train that mental mindset, train that repetitive form, figure it out, get that body feel right. And then, build that tune on top of it. People get so wrapped up in the equipment side, which is awesome, right? I love talking tunes.
I love equipment too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it, right? But I mean, indoor, it hardly matters. Indoor,
I've shot a terrible tune for Lancaster the year I won it.
Yeah, Lancaster. Yeah, terrible. I mean, completely terrible.
But I didn't even know it was bad. To be honest, I didn't
because it hit the middle, and then if you build it, it hits the middle reliably with your super consistent shot, and you can hold that sumbitch right there. You're going to crush it. It's just what it is. And you get outdoors and you start to get some distance. Then and a tune matters indoors too, right? Because it's just forgiveness.
I think it helps.
Oh yeah,
sure.
So
the 50 meter thing, I am going to go for pretty hard this year. Like, I am excited to get out there and shoot the 50 meter deal. Super excited. So, especially since the big one's coming to Springfield.
Yeah, and a tune definitely cleans things up at 50 meters. If you can drop bear shafts down at the 9-10 ring at 50, you're going to have a pretty forgiving setup. So a lot of people are like, well, you don't need to do that. It's just like, well,
but you got to make sure there's no stinking wind.
Oh yeah,
if you're bear shafting that. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah. For sure.
I was a bigger idiot than I am now at one time. We had like 15-mile-an-hour winds, and I was like, I'm going to see if these will bear shaft at 50.
That's right.
And I lost like 4 arrows, and I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, you got to have a calm day. You get windy. Don't tune at all on windy days. Shoot.
Yeah,
you need to shoot. Shoot for sure and see what it does, but don't do any tuning on a windy day. And then,
are you going to be going any 50 meter stuff at all this year?
No, I doubt it.
No, okay.
I was thinking about maybe Buckeye. I just have to see.
If you end up going, let me know. I might.
I'd really like to take a field tune, like when I'm really ramping for.
I think it'd be a good idea to go for prep.
Well, I'd like to take one to an ASA.
Oh yeah,
I'd really like to, dude. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Go to Metropolis. I'll go up there
when I'm jamming and take my rangefinder and go shoot a 30-meter known 3D for fun. I think that'd be interesting if I could throw down a good score with it or not.
I probably won't go to any other ASAs, but I might go to Metropolis. Maybe I'll go to Paris. Mainly because I got a super sweet buckle, and it's only 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go to Paris.
But I might just be talking out of my ass on that one too. So I'd like to. Buckeye's cool. I like 50 meter.
I do too. It's a blast for me. I mean, I love doing it, and we got several tournaments. Gilman's put on over here in Fort Gibson, I guess, is the town.
Yeah.
But, anyway,
I have fun just going over to where I shoot, over to Dan's, and I got all that stuff set up over there, and or we got all that stuff. It's not me, but and man, I'm content anymore just going over there and just make good use of my time. And I picked some things to work on, and I don't have like a laundry list, but I've got some things that I want to work on and get even better for field, because definitely. I mean, I did pretty well last year, and I want to. The stuff I learned is like, oh, okay, this is, and I think it could elevate me a little bit more. So I need to spend some good quality time working through some course management stuff, And
Yeah.
then I want to. I'd really like to find some. I don't know. I'd have to go somewhere. I'd really like to find some elevation stuff to play with and really dial in out to 50. It's just a problem. I can do the short stuff, but man, dude, like 40 plus meter or 30 plus meter, like 40-degree shot is
Tough
like,
to get a hold of out there.
you have to shoot do a 50-meter shot off 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to, I don't know. Yeah, I have to go to the mountains. I don't know. I drive all over the place, and I'm always looking like big hills and stuff. I'm like, oh man, did I knock on that door and be like, hey, can I go shoot? I'd like to dial that in. I've done a bunch of math, and I got a cut chart that I've made last year that I have that's doing me solid. But I want to spend some more time with it, and just have it for future. Especially for when we go the 26th World Fields in Yankton again. So I'm assuming they'll be on the mountain courses again, and those cuts will come in handy for that. Which I dealt with it. I shot it in 24. I dealt with it. Or I'm sorry, in 22. I dealt with it okay then on the cut side of things. But
So
it can always be better.
yeah. Oh yeah. Always room for improvement for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and then
and basically that's all I got. But I do want to go over something before we get off here.
yeah.
What was you gonna say?
No, nothing.
We ought to just do this just to keep us honest about working on something. I haven't been able to work on anything this week, but before I broke my neck, I I was working on making a more consistent hook, and being very diligent on making sure my tip was in the gold, because I've gotten lazy and I've had that little red gap, because I lollipop. I've had that little red gap there
Yeah.
and just been okay with it. And man, honestly, I was shooting last week and I was like pounding better than I've probably shot in a long time.
So you're drawing back and sticking it right on there.
Yes. And I'm getting it there quick.
Okay. So you're not having to work it there.
No, because whenever I got to go work it there, oh, dude, it's terrible. I mean,
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
If you
got to work at it to get it there.
I'm good. And there's sometimes I can work it down and I can work it down. And then I can feel that anticipation build, but I'm working through it and I got a good hold and then I get it on and then it's like super calm. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. Yep. And then run it. Most of the time I can't do that though.
Yeah.
Versus it's hard to kind of get down on there. Yeah. I'm super, it's like,
Me too.
hold on. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So
okay.
Basically, we'll kind of, at the end of these, I think we ought to try to do this. I know I just sprung this on you, but go over what you kind of worked on the past week. Even if it's just something small. Like, so mine was making a consistent hook and actually getting it to the middle quickly. Because that's the main my job, basically, is what I'm calling it. To get it to the middle, and then I can run a shot, right?
Yeah.
But I don't like it whenever I got to do this and like work it up or work it down, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on. Hook and that.
Okay.
What about you? What'd you work on?
My callus situation on my fingers is getting to be bad. I need to find better tape.
Tab. Oh, my bad.
I need to find some tape that I can tape my finger. I need to tape the joint. I hook between my first and second joint. And I need a tape that fits there, and I can tape my finger up so it doesn't pinch that meat so bad. Because it hurts. It gets sore at like bad.
What about Lico tape? Have you tried that?
That's what I'm using. No, what's the horse wrap tape?
Oh, I don't know, but use the Lico tape.
Yeah, I need to get some like
really good. That's what I use for
almost
my heels.
Almost like I need like stiff tape. You know what I'm saying? Like some sort of like a stiffer tape.
Yeah.
For skin that's narrow.
Foreskin?
Like that's narrow. That's like a 1/2 inch wide that I need to try something like that because that's getting to be a situation, and I don't know what to do about it. I really like the tab. It fits me good, but my fingers aren't long. If somebody could 3D print me an offset ring where I could get
That
that
makes the
plate.
most sense.
If I could
Where
get
you can
that
get
plate
closer.
a little deeper in my hand, like an 1/8 inch, 3/16, it would probably be. Actually, I'd probably just solve the issue for me. But anyways, that's a side thing. I've just been like trying tape and figuring different things out. My big thing this week has been trying getting back into a grip seared shot, a triggered shot, working through that. So what happens is I don't know how I can explain it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anything, just kind of go over the thing, I mean, you don't have to get in detail if you don't want to, but at least let everybody know what you're working on.
Yeah, there's a 50% of me that's doing some drill stuff on long holds and triggerless shooting, and then 50% of me is ready to bench that for the time being and get back at it. Because a grip sear got me to Canada. It got me a super strong finish, which I was more than happy with. Silver mixed team medal and another World Game spot, and just I had 2 weaknesses there, and make those 2 weaknesses my strengths going forward this year. So that's half of me kind of wants to go that way. So I'm still kind of dabbling both. I'm not, so I'm playing kind of with both still. I need to make my mind up though.
Yeah,
and
let's
just
take
get at it. Yeah.
Make Ryan's mind up for him.
Yeah. So I'm huge progress on the triggerless shooting, obviously, right? Like huge progress.
Yeah.
The thing is I still don't get it there. It's getting better. It's better every day, but it's not there yet. And then I'm missing that cue when I do get it there, something that goes. Because I'll get some like super calm, and I've talked about it before, where it's like just completely take the thought away and I just let it go. And some of those are good, but I don't think those are going to be bulletproof on high pressure situations. Like what I'm gonna get myself into, just because I know myself and I've shot that way. Basically I've never held a good hold, so I've never learned how to do it. So
Right.
I'm learning it now, and I don't think now is the time to be doing it. So a big part of me is like bench that. It's fun. It was fun for the 2 months.
I don't know. To me, it seems like it's working.
It's progress. It's progress for sure, but it's jumpy. It's super jumpy, and I'm just at 18 meters. What's it going to be like at 40 meters and 50 meters?
Time will tell. Play with it outside.
Yeah. And that's a big thing. I want to get outside and get to 50 and see what it's like and see the aim and feel it out. Time goes quick, and important things to me will be here before we know it. So, no, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not for or against either style of shooting.
For sure.
And there's
you just gotta go
multiple ways to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to go whatever works for me. Like on Alex and Zernzak today, we're talking. Alex got talking about the triggered versus trigger. They both did, right? They were having a conversation about it, and they're just spot on. And it's like you just do what works best for you. And
I haven't listened to that part of it. I probably got 20 minutes left.
I feel I really like World Archery Field Archery or World Archery Field a lot. I like that game a lot. I'm pretty decent at it, and I've shot a ton of practice rounds. I've made my own course over at Dan's. I put the time in, and I have notebooks full of notes and scored rounds and logs and all this shit I write down of progress over the last few years. And, I'm the best I've ever been this last year at Canada. So you kind of go, hey, and, like I was pretty happy with it in Canada when I come home with some things on my list, like the wind, right? I need to work on it in the wind.
Yeah, I remember that.
I needed high pressure shooting. That was the whole idea for indoor, just to get on the line, and I kind of screwed that off. And then I just needed to build a better arrow setup. And I felt like I could be a lot better working on those things. So,
Well, over the next several weeks, toy with it, see what you end up with.
yeah, I got something. I got a new weight. I picked up from a guy up there this weekend shooting nationals. I was already playing with it on the GT last night late because I just can't quit. It seems like,
Yeah.
And it shows some big promise already. So we'll see. Like I said, need to get outside and go, but yeah, that's all. That's what I'm doing, anyways. We'll have another episode hopefully next week. We're gonna do
We're going to try and do them once a week at least.
yeah.
I know at Vegas, I think I'm going to take some stuff with me, and maybe I might even go around and talk to some randoms.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm just bad at interviewing people. That's why we leave it for Matt and Frank.
Yeah, I think that's.
But I'll try. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's it. Congrats to all the winners in the top 8. Sure. That's cool.
Done a fine job.
Yep.
All right, dude. Well, I guess I will get off here and go let my neck rest.
All right, dude.
All right. See you tomorrow.
See you.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Yep.